guys, Mark with the Dog Trainer here. Today we're going to be doing a quick review of the Midwest Homes for Pets ICrate. And this is actually the 48-inch model, meaning that it is 48 inches from the front of the crate to the back of the crate. And it's actually one of the biggest ones that they offer in this model. It's designed for dogs between 90 and 110 pounds. But if we've got a smaller dog with different dimensions, they do offer different sizes of the same model that may fit your needs a little bit better. But for the purposes of this video, we'll just focus on this particular crate. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I've got a preference for the PetMate Sky Kennels, the plastic ones, but there is definitely a time and a place for wire crates, and anytime that I am going to be using a wire crate, this is usually the brand that I'm going to use. So in a second here, we're going to take a look at some of the different features that can be helpful with this type of wire crate. Then I'm going to collapse it to show you guys how to put it back together. So let's get to it. All right, so as far as wire crates go, this is really a pretty standard model. We've got our two locks, a top and a bottom one, that all we have to do is pull it up and then we can unlock it. And it is not necessarily the most secure lock in the world. So I'm not usually going to recommend this crate for any type of dog that has crate anxiety or any type of dog that is really actively trying to get out of the crate. Just because this is one of the easiest locks for dogs to figure out how to open. But if we have a dog that is just totally chill in the crate and really has zero worries in there, then this will work perfectly fine. Okay, now the next thing we'll talk about is that the tray, we can actually pull the tray out, which can be really helpful if we're doing like puppy potty training and they had an accident in there and you don't want to have to crawl in there to clean it. That can be really helpful. Now, let's say we push that in, where a lot of other wire crates that I've seen, there's not really any type of lock. So if dogs are kind of jumping around in the crate, they actually can kick the tray out. And there's been times that I actually came home and I noticed that the tray was just gone and the dogs were actually like messing around with the carpet underneath the crate. So this particular crate, and this is why I usually will use these ones, has a locking mechanism here that we can use that stops the tray from getting kicked out. And that can be pretty helpful. Now, on the same note as like potty training, wire crates, and this one specifically, typically come with a divider that we can adjust to make the crate bigger or smaller. And that can be really nice because now we don't have to buy different size crates as our puppy is getting bigger. We can just buy the adult model and just let them grow into it. And then the last thing is that we've got some rollers on the bottom that just make it a little bit easier to adjust, where we have the crate at without it just dragging across the floor. Now, those are really the main features. Like I said, pretty typical wire crate. This particular model only has one door and it only opens one way. Where they do have a double door model that I'll make sure to put the link in the description for the two different types. So that way, if for whatever reason, you want a door that's on the side, there are models that have that as well. So now I'm going to take this apart so I can show you guys how we put it back together. Okay, so I've got this thing collapsed, and really this is probably the top advantage of a wire crate versus a plastic crate, is that it folds up into a very, very small space. So the main thing I use wire crates for is going to be traveling, because now I can kind of just carry it like a suitcase, which is a lot easier than carrying like a giant bulky crate. Okay, now I'm going to put this down here. It's not that this is that hard to build back up, but you do have to be a little bit patient because sometimes the different pieces of wire are getting caught on other pieces of wire. So that's why you kind of have to like slow it down a little bit when you're trying to put this together. So I'm going to unclasp the pieces that kind of hold it together when it's folded up. I'm going to pull one corner up and then I'm going to pull the second one up. And now the front piece and the back piece are going to be folded in. So you have to pay attention to see which one is on top to make sure that you're pulling up the right piece. So in this case, the back piece is on top. So I'm going to pull that up. Okay, and then these locks that hold it together, you just have to kind of bend it to put it in place. I usually do the edges first, and then I do the middle. Okay. Again, I do the edges first, and then I'll do the middle. And there you go. I think that is pretty much everything you guys need to know about the Midwest Homes for Pets ICrate 48-inch model. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.